Vice did a study on 4chan. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today, on news.vice.com, here we are at Vice, the well-known haters of freedom and fun and memes on the internet. They actually did a study on hacker 4chan. But what did they find out, my friends? Oh, I wonder. We analyzed more than 1 million comments on 4chan. Speech of a hateful variety has spiked by 40% since 2015. You know the best part of this study? It's so obvious to me that they also included shitposting, memes, jokes, LARPing. They literally went in there, into 4chan, into the forums, they scanned the forums, they used whatever software they did, and every meme was flagged. That's hilarious, dude. Like, their entire argument is predicated on a bad premise. So keep in mind that this entire article is nonsense, but it is hilarious. So we're gonna break it down and see what they have to say. Keep in mind they post a Kekistan flag here, literally a non-violent symbol of peace created by channers. There's literally nothing threatening about that flag at all. You know, as always, the mainstream media has no clue about the real meaning of memes. And I also want you to keep in mind that it's been 4 years since 2015, so it's highly likely that the user base of 4chan has increased. Therefore, even statistically, if we're going to take them seriously, the free speech that you would find would definitely increase. Just a reminder, you can find my Patreon and Subscribestar links down below in the description. Every video I upload is automatically demonetized, so that's one way to show support. Also, check out my affiliate links. So this article is by Rob Arthur. On 4chan, you'll find anime memes, lewd materials, and sports chatter. There's also a knitting board and a basket weaving board. That one's my favorite. It's Mongolian. You'll also find an endless stream of racist threats, stomach-churning memes. Oh, stomach-churning, oh no, not the memes! And a misogynies vitriol, and it's getting worse. According to a Vice analysis of more than 1 million comments on the site's most popular message boards. I wonder which boards they scanned. On the heavily trafficked, politically incorrect homies represent board, slurs against ethnic, religious, or sexual or gender minorities have increased by 40% since 2015. While neo-Nazi propaganda have proliferated, and users of the forum are increasingly making violent threats against minority groups. When you're the most ethically diverse hate group around. Comments that include both speech of a hateful variety and violent language have increased by 25% over the same period. Here's a little news flash. A bunch of minorities also use 4chan. It's very diverse. After all, how could they not think so? In fact, it would seem that places like Politically Incorrect are even more diverse than many of the people criticizing them. After a wave of recent attacks by white people across the world, social media platforms have begun cracking down on speech of a hateful variety. You mean censorship? You mean violating the First Amendment? Literally violating the Constitution. I call that treason, you know. But anonymous online forums like 4chan, a comment board designed to facilitate discussions between users posting threads of text, images, and memes, have remained toxic. Anonymous mixtures of hate, bigotry, and misogynies. Like this, if you cry every time. And has given violent, extreme people a kind of digital safe space. For the last time, it's called free speech. Don't make me come over there. Perpetrators of recent attacks have been connected to similar forums. The shooter at the place known as Christchurch, New Zealand, had spent time on 8chan, one of 4chan's even more vitriolic offshoots. Okay. Real time right now, real talk. 8chan has nothing to do with 4chan. They're both chans, right? But they're not really affiliated. So that's a really dumb assertion to make. They are treated the same, that's true, by boomers who don't understand, memes or the internet. In his racist manifesto, he used coded language found on both forums. Okay, first of all, it's coded language. Is 4chan a spy now? including super hacker. Now he's also the greatest spy the world's ever known. Is that what you're telling me? Y'all need to take some crazy pills so you can become sane again. Look, his manifesto is honestly just a huge shitpost. We gotta remember, this guy was Australian. He knew what he was doing. It's full of memes. However, there are some true things that were said. For example, white birth rates are down. White people are a global minority. And white people might even face extinction if, rampant diversity is left unchecked. That's just how it is. It's a fact. It's statistics. You can ask anybody. Found on both platforms. A man who attacked Poway, California, in April also spent time on 8chan. Both wrote on message boards about their deadly plans and encouraged by users there to carry them out. Look, the internet's full of people who goad on anyone. That's nothing special. You can find that anywhere. 4chan is still the most popular English language type of image board site, attracting about 20 million monthly visitors, comparable to the volume of traffic at a major news site. Users developed 8chan and 9chan, more radical variants of the original. In response to perceived censorship, they're smaller, less moderated, and even more extreme communities. What are you saying? Less moderated? More free speech? I've never even heard of 9chan. I gotta remember that one. But bigotry is rampant on 4chan as well. On that platform, speech of a hateful variety is present in 1 out of every 15 comments, exceeding the volume on other openly racist websites. Users frequently celebrate violence against minorities and bad people. Former users reported that exposure to this language, memes, and the videos on the site desensitized them to hateful language and bloodshed, even in their offline lives. Former users of 4chan, you say? Oh, I totally believe you. That some Redditor went on the 4chan boards, saw a video of a Chinaman getting eaten by an escalator, and was like, oh my god, this place is, I need my soy latte. I'm not ready for this in the morning. Have you seen my wife's son? The finding raised questions about free speech and the policing of extremism online. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Free speech means free speech. Why don't you pull up your big boy pants, put on your panties, and stop being a little weakling? Don't be so weak. Disgust me. Too much weakness in modern society. Too many snowflakes. They all have a meltdown the moment anybody says something slightly edgy. Pineapple and ham pizza. Oh, that's going too far, buddy. While mainstream platforms have made some efforts to kick people off their websites, censor, they may have been driven further underground, and it's even harder to monitor radicalization and threats. Well, whose fault is that? You call for censorship, but here's the thing. Vice and companies like them have an agenda. They don't want to make the internet a safer place. They don't even necessarily want to protect people. They want things they don't like to be deleted, in fact. That is what they want. They are very authoritarian, aren't they? Okay, so very interesting here. 8chan doesn't have full archives, and 9chan is hard to shut down for them. Because nobody knows who owns them, they can easily switch servers if a company refuses to host their content. There have, however, been reported attempts by governments to shut down their content. Wow. A teenage programmer launched 4chan in 2003 as a venue to nerd out on anime, but it quickly spiraled out of control. Oh, go suck it. You're such babies. Oh my god. These days, 4chan is still home to mundane discussions about comics and news, but it is also a cesspool of hate. So the website they scanned was 4plebs, which is a 4chan archive. And honestly, we gotta thank the archives, because if it wasn't for that, you honestly wouldn't get to see some of the most golden posts in history. This is the absolute proof that they have no idea what 4chan is, and they've never used the website. Look at what they say. Former 4chan users reported frequently seeing such beasts even on topic boards less toxic than Poll, such as the random Be bored. Less toxic than Poll? B? Have you been to B? Have you even taken a gander at the front page? Literally at any random time. That board is a well of degeneracy. Because 4chan users often employ alternative terms to substitute for slurs, these numbers almost certainly underestimate the true frequency of speech on the site. Wow. Wow. How delusional are these people? You know their end goal is just to censor. So they claim that 1 out of every 10 posts on poll also used violent language. Sometimes the text included a direct threat. In other cases, the writer implied that a minority was committing or would commit violence against white people. There's literally thousands of videos that you can watch of that exact same thing. Look at the FBI statistics. A common trope. It's not a trope. It's a real thing. Okay? Most violence in this country, well, first of all, most violence, when race is involved, like a white person's more likely to attack a white person. But when it comes to like minorities, a minority is more likely to attack a white person than a white person is to attack a minority. So what does that tell you? Who's really in danger here? Dozens of comments exhorted other 4chaners to assassinate themselves. Dude, yeah, that's a meme, okay? It's a meme. You throw some letters together. S-K-Y. It's a meme. The proportion of comments containing both hateful and violent speech has increased in the last 3 years, well rising by about 25%. I think they are modeling their behavior they want others to engage in, said Oren Segal, the director of the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism. First of all, your center's a joke. Second of all, you're censoring bastards. And third of all, they're not modeling anything. They're just having fun on the internet, posting memes, discussing issues, telling the truth about the world. And you just can't handle it. You can't handle the fact that you're a mainstream media corporation and that there's people out there willing to tell the truth and push away your false narratives. The rise in the language began in the summer of 2016, increasing in tandem with the presidential election. Orange man, bad. Even as 4chan has grown more extreme, overall web traffic on the site has more than doubled. Oh, wow. Since the last decade. Oh, so thank you for that. Thank you for pointing out what I said at the beginning. Statistically speaking, any sort of speech is going to increase the more users go to the site. It's basic knowledge. It's common sense. 4chan is one of the most popular sites in the world. You know it. Blah, blah, blah. They claim that research shows that exposure to extreme content makes people extreme. Yeah, that's utter nonsense. Oh yeah, and video games cause violence, right? The more violent the video game, the more violent the person. Yeah, that's been debunked so many damn times. So, let's finish this off. It's been hilarious. There is quite a lot of research showing how people are radicalized or what leads them down radicalization pathways. But the truth is, for all types of extremism, we really don't know what leads one person to become violent. I know exactly what it is. It's this. And another person to not make that violent choice, explains Cynthia Miller Idris, a professor at American University and an expert on right-wing... Sure you are, honey. Sure, you're an expert, right? What did you do? Did you look at the HuffPost articles? Huh? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you're an expert. An expert. You don't know jack squat. You're a joke. So here they claim that 4chaners, shower bad people with praise. But you know what? So what? Some people say some stuff first of all, it's free speech, but some people say some stuff, and that means everyone is guilty? Huh? You know how many left-wingers have said terrible stuff? Apparently that means we should just lump you into one big group. Okay, I got you. Experts agreed that this type of post-event validation could give future extremists a reason to commit similar attacks. The role of these platforms to not only radicalize but inspire the next attack. I think we're starting to see that play out of the recent attacks that we've seen. Segal said, Okay, so these people are insane. They have no idea what they're talking about. They literally said B was less toxic than Pol. These people are clueless. They're just left-wing ideologues. They're regressive. They're basically destroying society, and they want to take away our memes. Does anything more need to be said? These people are insane and must be stopped, and they're trying to censor us. We can't allow our voices to be silenced. That's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this Vice article? Do you think 4chan, hacker 4chan, is a cesspool? Or is it the hero we need, but not the one we deserve? Be sure to let me know. Now, as a reminder, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. There are different tiers. You can choose whatever you wish. Doing so will get you access to Fight Club. There are also PayPal options. Lastly, because websites are no longer promoting our content, red-pilled content that is, be sure to share it and post it on social media. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.